you have a limited time under here, and it's based on your constitution. And I will tell you when you start suffocating to death. Alrighty, welcome on in. Welcome on in, adventurers, viewers, adventurous viewers.
Welcome. Welcome.
All of the above. Welcome on into our second official Dungeons and Dragons stream, even though the
Number
first one
2.
I did not. Anyway, we're here, and we're ready to play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition in the Open Seas campaign, a campaign by Otter Games, which I hear is a great guy. Really cool.
Awesome.
I think he's a solid 7 out of 10.
A bit controlling of the universe that we're happening.
Also,
Okay.
Nintendo, you're now hiding behind your bien again.
Who knows?
No matter how many times we set this up.
Oh my god.
We have our 3 wonderful and talented actors who are
That gives me a lot to live up to.
who are taking on the player characters of Red, Bien, and Miguel. Not
Cool.
pronounced Magul.
Definitely
As we
not.
learned last week.
Still having trouble with that one, but I'll get there. And Mr. Nintendo,
sounds
would
like-
you like to do a recap?
Previously, my brother and I journeyed to the port town of Takot, deciding that a few bad business ventures in our past was not ideal to hang around for much longer. So on this journey, we met Red, a fiery vixen with much potential to attract gold, as she does stairs from Bien. And we began investigating Takot, looking for lucrative opportunities. We picked up in a few different leads, but the one that promised to pay the most was a farmer whose crop had rotted away this year due to some kind of purple blight that had infected all the blue wheat and turned it purple and sickly.
It's true.
So we began to investigate ways to get to the farm. We made a few illegal copies of horse carriage manifestos that may come in handy in the future. But
Yep.
eventually we settled for finding a very cheap method of traveling by carriage, and we got to the farmland.
With the return trip already paid for.
With the return trip already paid for.
I wouldn't call it cheap. It cost almost all
It cost
my money.
Yen and his brother nothing.
Yeah, it cost us nothing.
But as treasurer, I get to keep all the money that comes in, so it's fine.
That's not what we said.
You said I was treasurer.
We did say that, yes. We didn't tell you what treasurer meant.
We journeyed into a tavern and we discovered that the town is affected quite severely by this purple blight. Even their water in town has a purplish hue to it. Some are already suspecting that it's got something to do with blood, because the red of blood may be merging with the blue of the wheat to make purple water and plants. But we haven't got confirmation of that. So we made our way to the farmhouse, which was being lent to us while we solved this mystery. Is very kind of this farmer. As we rocked up, though, we found a rucksack on the ground, a few things out of place, and upstairs a kobold, little dragon dogger, sneaking out the window.
That's true.
He immediately changed gears and decided he was this household's butler, and so whichever person would believe was his master. We pushed him inside the window. We battled him for a bit, but he very quickly made soup for us to defuse the combat scenario. We reluctantly drank the soup, and Bien had a bit of argy-bargy with him, tried to convince him to join us without betraying us. This kobold has agreed to work with us. His name is Bodnora, as long as we give him some treasure in the future. And then we left the house with our new friend, and a man got gored by a giant boar immediately in front of our eyes.
Yep.
We killed the boar. The boar knocked Ben down, and last we saw, Miguel helped his brother up as he regained air in his lungs.
You're in town and you have a puzzle to solve. There's a dead man in a field which you probably want to report to someone, or maybe you don't. And you have a couple of leads as to what could be happening around and about the place.
Because this kind of happened off screen, how many pounds of bacon did we get from that giant boar? You roll me some bacon pounds?
From the boar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I fed to you as you work to be able.
Back to health and bacon.
These rations will spoil unless treated, but
Alright, so
currently you have 80 boar rations.
Oh my gosh!
I told you it was a giant boar.
Yeah, no, wow.
All right, so I'm planning on giving as much as we can of this to the townsfolk. Red, while I'm cutting up this boar to nurse my brother back to life, do you want to go check out on that dead dude?
Sure, I'll go find someone and alert them of the dead body. Figure out who
do the right thing.
To.
Maybe see if he's got anything good on him.
Yep. You can do that.
Maybe.
So you roll investigation?
Yeah.
He might have some clues on him.
Mm-hmm.
He might have some. Maybe he stole a little bit of boar bacon.
Boar catnip.
A tiny, tiny little pouch of gold.
One gold.
Alright, so are you gonna search him or are you gonna take him into town?
Both.
Well, yeah, why not both?
Okie dokie.
I'll like do a pat down, see if he's got a wallet that flips out with a family picture, a little identification card saying,
This man-
this is my name.
This man has 2 giant holes in his chest from where the boar gored him. And he is wearing some common pants, and he had with him a small sickle. That's about it.
Fair enough. I guess because he would have been harvesting, right?
Yep,
So-
probably.
Yeah.
Or he's a communist, one or the other.
I take a sheet from the house. I'm sure there's like linen and things like that around. Or I put it over him.
Bone Nora helps you with the sheet, and he goes, "Yes, must cover. Not good." And you cover the man, and you're gonna take him in like a wheelbarrow or something that's around?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we take the wheelbarrow that's right there.
Yep.
That's a great idea.
Down on the main street, people rush out from their buildings, and the tavern keeps there amongst a few other people who you've not met, and they say, "Good Lord, what's happened here?"
I'm terribly sorry, but your man was attacked by a boar, and we were just too late to save him. Why? Damn it! Why?
They ask you what happened to the boar. Where's the boar?
It's breakfast actually. Would you like? We have a lot.
It's breakfast.
We have a lot to share. Does anybody need food?
The tavern keep says that he would gladly keep the food on hand for the town as a gift.
I look at Miguel slightly betrayed that he's going to make me hand over the meat I just died to get.
Oh no! I knowingly pat Bien on the chest and just say, could you please perhaps cure some of the meat for us so that we could store it long term? We are travelers.
The tavern keep says he's got plenty of salt and other preserving herbs which he can treat the meat with so that it lasts a lot longer.
Okay. Knowing that, I begrudgingly hand over 80 pounds of bacon from
inside your shirt pocket.
By the way, we have been sent here to try and cure this place of the purple rot that seems to be spreading. If you have any information, please share it with us. We would love to get to the bottom of this.
Mm-hmm. Can I get an investigation roll with advantage?
Oh, yes, you may.
What kind of questions are you asking? What
so I'm asking,
are you trying to define?
Oh, sorry. So I'm saying I'm talking about the purple curse. I'm calling it by just trying to figure out what they're calling it. Purple rot, purple curse, the grass rot, things like that. I'm trying to work out how long and who was the first. Whose fields were affected first? When did you notice them being affected? How quickly did it spread?
It happened very quickly. The southwest side and the southern side of town were the most affected at first, and then it kept spreading very quickly until it hit pretty much everywhere that it seems to have spread to, and now it's stopped. So it stops at the major lakes. It stops around the major lakes. So it is on the north side, but nowhere near as far spread as on the south. It spreads a long way south.
Okay, is there
Is that
anything...
where the irrigation from the lake is most prominent?
No, the irrigation is prominent everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere that there's a field, there's proper irrigation. It's really impressive.
Is there anything interesting there at all? Like, is there anything like... Is it just a field, or is there like an old house nearby, or is there a stream?
There's plenty of farmhouses and plenty of farmland.
Is it on the edge of a cliff? Is there a cave? Are there any caves?
If you look to the south and the southwest, you can see the Blue Mountain Range with its crystal blue tops. But that thing is absolutely ginormous and probably a few days' walk away. But there is a massive mountain range down there.
Can I ask the villagers the source of the lake water? Like, is there a natural spring, or does it flow down from the mountain?
They say the water runs down from all the higher lands, so some of the hills to the northwest, and of course the Blue Mountain Range is a giant elevation of land, so the water runs down there as well, towards the town. Usually, because this is a lower area, all of the water kind of pools here, which is why it's been so good for growing crops.
Mm-hmm. I would also like to ask, has there been anyone that's been up the mountain in the last month since this plague has happened? Or
gone missing?
As soon as you mention going up the mountain,
yep,
you were taken aside.
Okay.
You were taken aside by one of the elders here, and he says... Hold on, I need his name. I have my names already, and I mixed them up at the start. Allow me to introduce myself incredibly slowly.
My beautiful name.
He says,
Oh, sorry.
"Young man, you best not be asking questions like that out here. People don't like to talk much about the mountains, especially not in bluegrass meadows."
Excuse me, old man, but why ever would that be?
Well, a long time ago, probably about a century, maybe less, we used to mine in the mountains. And Bluegrass Meadows was actually known more for its mining than for its crops. But one day, everyone who went mining failed to return.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
talking upwards of 40 men.
Wendigos. What?
I'm trying to look at the What?
Now, of course...
Where did they go?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Of course, Lord Abraham, he wouldn't have anyone go up there apart from his men. He didn't want anyone else being put at peril. But they didn't return either, and then after that, no one went up. Not a soul.
Where on the mountain? Oh, sorry.
Dodgy to speak of this, purely because of the great tragedy that it was?
People believe it's haunted.
Mm.
People don't want to call those spirits back down.
I want to turn to Red and kind of nudge him like, curses, the oldest con in the book.
And Red looks seriously at Ben and goes, "No, they're real, you know that, right?"
If you try and conflate this purple mess with those mountains, you're going to strike a lot of fear into people. I wouldn't mention them, even if it's true.
So
Unless it's to Lord Dunst Abraham himself.
right. Interesting. How is your crop going this year? Are you also affected by the blight?
Terribly affected.
That's unfortunate.
I don't suppose
Is
Ernest
anybody not
promised
affected?
you a reward for fixing it, did he?
Perhaps, but that's between client and clientele.
Well,
Um,
I'll say if you can solve my issue, I'll get on the reward train as well. All the way to the station, I say.
Right. I love locomotives.
He gestures to his pocket like this, tapping his chest, and he goes, "I've got something very special, very special.
My heart skips a wee bit.
If you could solve this problem, I would be willing to give you one of my most treasured items."
Wow. That sounds fantastic.
But please
I
don't
guess
mention
you-
the mountains around here.
Yes, okay. Don't mention the mountains, solve the mystery. Don't connect to the mountains. Got it.
Are you not going to ask what this most precious item
They
is?
said it's precious.
I love the different
Already-
priorities between Red and Bien. Bien's
Already
like,
heard the value,
if it's
it's
valuable,
valuable."
it is of worth. Is anything needed to be said but that? And Red's like, but is it? What is it
But see,
specifically?
It could be precious to him,
Yep.
might not be precious to us.
Raise a point. What's your precious item, old man?
It could be one of his daughters, means nothing for me.
He chuckles.
I'll go with that.
He chuckles and goes, "Oh, I keep that secret close to my heart. Except on Sundays."
Red, I still think it has something to do with the water. Should we investigate?
That is why we're here.
I mean, specifically investigate the pipeline, the lake itself. I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, what's been people's reactions to Bone Nora following us into the tavern in the town?
Not an eyelid battered at Bone Nora.
Really?
Oh, that's bizarre.
He's even talked to a couple of people in town while you've been chatting.
Is that unusual for us to observe?
Yes. But not completely out of place. There are uncommon folk who travel through these lands. It's an accepting society to a degree. So
Right.
they're not outwardly going to chase a weird person out of town,
As long as
but
you're not
they
walking
would
into
treat
a-
them with more trepidation than a normal person.
Cool. Well, I'm going to turn to
Race-wise,
Bernora
yeah.
if he's followed us into the tavern, okay? And I'm going to say, Bernora, do you know anything about the water source in town? About the lake, about the pipeline?
He looks at you dead in the eye and he goes, "No squids."
Well, where are you getting all these squids from?
The ocean, of course. As to get him from in this big sea.
But that's days. How old are these squids?
Big water, big wave, splashing. Under the
Yeah,
water
feel a
is
bit
squid.
Repulsed having drunk the soup. This morning.
Squid is last a bit. Don't keep too long, make sick.
Well, should we go investigate some of the windmills and pipelines?
Are you
Make a
asking
way
Bone Nora?
forward? I'm asking Miguel and Red.
Okay.
I think we should head up the mountain.
Who built the water system? Do we know that yet?
That's a good question.
Oh, there's one point in it.
Yeah, I turn to the bartender if he's around.
Also, Tough Gruff is watching the football. The footersball. So if you hear odd comments that are out of place, it's because he is watching the footersball.
like a scroll of minor illusion that he has open, looking at something taking place.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is rubbish.
I want to ask the tavern owner that we're kind of on good terms with.
Yep.
And I want to ask, like, who built the irrigation system in town?
An irrigation system's been around for 150 years. Built
Whoa.
long before anyone here was alive. And maintained and taught to the young'uns, of course, so that they could continue to improve upon it and maintain it for
Who's in charge of
forever, I
right
guess.
now?
Well, everyone takes care of their own piping, and it's important that we teach. And he goes on and on and on about this piping system and how everyone is taught from birth how to start maintaining this system and how it works and how the cogs push the water because of the spinning. He goes on and on about it. It's long.
Yeah, I nearly fall asleep, but I just got my eyes open at the last moment.
I do fall asleep, but it's under your hat.
Gotcha.
It's subtle though.
Oh, sir. Okay, all right. Well, that was fascinating.
So where's the mayor?
Well, you would have talked to him in town, correct? That's what you said.
Did we talk
to the mayor?
Blue Meadows.
Oh,
You're staying at his house.
The mayor. Sorry.
Oh,
Ernest is the mayor. Yes, Ernest is the mayor.
Oh,
Sorry.
But not the
There's
Lord.
also Lord Dunst Abraham.
yes.
Correct.
Who's Lord? Where is
The mayor
Lord
acts
Dunst?
in
Lord Dunst
place
is
of-
probably in Takot.
Yeah, he resides in Takot. I remember
In
that.
the manor
that's
by
right.
the
Oh,
docks.
that's right. He's the big
on the
kahunas.
western side.
Yeah.
All right, we need to make a call. We need to start somewhere. So, Miguel, Red, where do you want to investigate first? Do you want to go
Well,
up this?
let's check out the
mountain?
water while we're here,
All
but then let's go up the mountain.
You get down there probably about 2 hours after the sun has hit the middle of the sky, and it's nice. Apart from the fact that everything is deeply stained purple, everything from the sand around the edges of the lake to the water itself. People have told you that this is supposed to be a crystal blue lake, which is absolutely stunning, but instead it's purple and not blue at all.
I want to try something. So, can we find like a pot or jar or just something?
Nora!
A
Hold up my
litmus
hand.
test.
He hands you a vial.
Okay, I
Let's
put a couple of the bluegrass seeds that we've got. So we've got some bluegrass ration. I just
Yes,
put a
you do.
bluegrass ration in there, and then I pour the purple water over it and kind of shake it up.
As you're watching it, gradually the grass inside seems, because it's still covered in this purple water, so it's hard to see through, but seems to be becoming darker
Okay.
and discoloring.
So then I
Because
take
at
it
first
out.
it's a really bright blue, like a really
Yeah.
clear blue.
Yeah. So all right. So I take it out
Mhm.
and I eat
You
it.
take it out and you chew on it,
Yeah.
and it does not taste very good. So compared to
Already.
compared to what it doesn't taste as bad as the chug chug chug. That's Jamaica. Compared to what the bluegrass tastes like standardly, it is that same taste, that metallic kind of blood-like taste in your mouth.
Right.
It's not as distinct as the purple grass, but it's definitely tainted with it.
And it has
Right.
a blood-like taste.
Yeah.
A coppery
Yes.
taste.
Yeah.
No good.
Iron.
Okay. All right. So
Mhm.
then, all right. I think we have to tell the town that this is happening. Maybe they already know, but we just have to make sure that they do know that if they
Pretty
have,
sure they already know. I think we already discussed this with them.
but that the water is corrupting things.
Mm-hmm. That
I
was
mean-
evident at the tavern when we got a glass of
Yes.
water from
Mhm.
the tavern. They know.
Okay,
They've been
so we
avoiding
can-
drinking it.
Bro, Nora,
Ah.
you said there were no squid in
No.
this lake. Have you been fishing and managed to see any other creatures?
It's not fishing lake.
Well, how are you getting these squid?
What I told you, big ocean. You're not listen. You're not listening at all. In the big ocean, wave a splash.
carried them
Under
inland.
the water, swimming along. Find this rock, pick under, squid, smack, squish, boom, bam, blam, bammer, squid.
Right. This is why it's hard for us to take your people seriously, because you haven't invented the fishing rod yet.
I'm sorry if we are more effective without a big dumb rod.
Well,
He sneers at you a little, goes, nah.
I sneer back at him. I don't particularly want to go.
He drops dead on the ground.
Wait, what?
He drops dead.
Who does?
But you can all tell that he's faking it.
Yeah.
After a minute, he gets off and goes, oh, that's a close one.
Well, I turned to the other two and I'm like, well, I don't really want to go skinny dipping in the lake and risk coming out looking like an aubergine. I don't know, do you think it's affecting anything else in the lake? Surely it's going to come from the water supply itself.
I think we have to go up the mountain. Surely these river systems start from somewhere up in the mountains, and they
That
must
sounds
trickle
like
down
hard
here.
work.
Yes,
We're
Bien.
not paid as much.
Bien, we will be paid so much.
Bonora is now looking at you guys, trying to work out what kind of logic you use. But after you finish speaking, he goes, yeah, he right, we do. But he's clearly very lost.
He doesn't say that to any one of us in particular. He just says that.
That to Miguel.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bonora, have you been up the
Right.
mountain before?
Just
Now,
No.
I was cleaning in the house and it's still not pay for all the cleaning I do on the windowsills, dust them down, very clean.
We already
Many
discussed our bargain. We will get you money when we have money. Alright, well, let's go up the mountain then.
Alright, so you
Hike.
travel back into town, and then are you picking up any supplies, or are you just heading out?
no, we do need to get supplies.
We can't afford supplies, Miguel.
Maybe we can get a down payment.
You
like
may have earned enough favor to be given
Alright.
some.
Okay.
Is there like a general store in the town?
There is one general store.
I kind of find the elder who we were talking to before, and I
He was heading out of town towards his house, but you caught him on the way out.
I'm around to my own thing.
Adventurous.
Good sir,
Yes.
I'm pretty
Miguel.
sure.
Miguel. Yes?
Miguel.
Ah,
I really
my
have a
memory is still
more for that.
swift.
We're kind of still working out what my voice sounds like.
That's fine.
But anyway, yeah, it's still. He's like,
How can I help?
I think, well, we have a lead as to where, we have a hunch as to where the source of your problems are.
You better not
but we
say
need
it.
some. I won't.
I know
But
what
we
you're
do need-
thinking already.
We need some supplies to get there. Will you help us?
Alright. But you'll pay me back.
Well, hopefully. We'll
Or you
pay.
won't come back. But hopefully you'll pay me back. He hands
So
you
deduct it from the amount of money you'll pay us when we solve this mystery.
a small pouch. And he says, that should cover you.
I think we also might need some rope and some. We might need some dungeoneering equipment.
He grabs you by the shoulders gently and he pats you on the shoulder. He goes, that should cover you. And he turns you around and pushes you towards the general store. You take a look in the pouch and you just see like 20 gold pieces.
Oh, right, gotcha. Yeah, I thought he gave me more rice. I'm like, cool, thank you.
But yes, he's
I'm
given
visibly
you
disappointed
a
with those
sizable amount of coin
Holy
That's
moly.
sizable. Okay.
for what you're trying to buy. Yeah, quite sizable.
Okay.
So you head into the
Miguel,
general store.
Pass for me the gold coin, please.
I give
As treasurer.
Ignore her and pass your brother the gold coin.
alright, I palm 2 gold coin for myself and I give Miguel the rest, and I give Bien the rest.
I
Oh,
turn around and say, if you see something you like, I'll make sure we get it for you.
There's a little speech bubble above Red's head that says Red will remember that.
We're gonna waltz into the general store.
You're stopped
I'm going-
by Bone Nora ahead of you, who holds out his hand.
Yes.
Window clean? Gives his coin? Has his coin? He's has coin. Gives soon.
This is...
He stares into your eyes.
I just like, that's your problem, man.
I pull out 1 gold coin and I pass to Boronora, and I'm like, "This is all we can spare now, as we need the supplies. But remember, once
Seems
we get
real.
all our treasure,
I take.
This is real. All right, good.
There's not many
didn't even
coin.
finish my
He gives his
exposition.
whole. He walks off towards the general store, just spouting. He gives his whole pouch. Only has a 1 coin for Bone Nora, and just walks into the general store.
I like how the more upset Bone Nora gets, the more competent he speaks.
Yeah.
He knows how to speak confidently. He's putting it on to pretend like he doesn't know what we're talking about. Would I be able to trade this very fine cloak, brand new by the way, for a calligrapher's kit?
Yep. Trade done.
Awesome, thank you very much. And I also take 1 50 feet of hempen rope, grappling hook, and a rope, and the kit.
Ball bearings.
They do have a bag of ball bearings.
You want to break your immersion for 1 second?
Yep.
This is the 3rd knockout of this game so far.
As in people getting bludgeoned.
People are
3 people have been knocked unconscious. So.
Ladies and gentlemen at home,
Well,
this is
well,
why I
listen.
do not support Australian rules.
Yeah, no, we need to get the bacon, cured
Oh
bacon.
yes, we go back and get our cured bacon.
Yep. You go back and you get
It's been healed. Of all disease.
20 rations of cured meat. So you leave at about 4 p.m. and you trek out into the wilds, and it gets dark before too long. The grass out here is purple, pretty much through and through, just purple everywhere. You can still see what the grass would have looked like to a degree, but the color is completely saturated with a purple hue.
Well, I think it's time to set up camp.
Yeah, I think we should stop and not press on in the dark. It might be too dangerous. We never know what we can run into.
Cool.
Ian is already unfurling his bedroll.
Wonderful.
First watch.
I can.
Bone Nora says, I will do last.
But Nora, you do second watch.
Nah. Fine.
I'll do third watch.
Bone Nora kind of crawls into his backpack and like hangs mostly out of it because it's still full of squid and junk. And that's where he's gonna sleep.
Ian doesn't
Aw.
admit how cute he thinks that is.
We're not going to light a fire. I think this grass is a fire risk, but also I don't want to draw any attention.
Only you can prevent grass fire.
Night
Where there's
passes
cover.
and you guys wake in the morning.
Okay.
The best part about waking up in the morning in this particular area is that the ground is slick with dew, and
Oh, yum.
you wake to the licking sounds of Bone Nora. Is good.
So this is when we all wake up the next morning, or is this...
Yeah, you all wake up in the next morning, and he goes, I got very wet. As he looks up at you. I need to get a proper bed.
I watch him unable to look away for a little bit, and I don't say anything and start rolling up my bed.
So you guys have noticed something out of the ordinary.
Oh, no.
As you are setting up camp, you've noticed that as night starts to fall, out from the ground, from their little burrows, has come foxes. But
Oh, wait. Yeah, okay.
they're purple.
Oh, yeah.
A soft purple hue instead of a brustly red fox. And they're running around the fields.
Are they exhibiting any behaviour that's...
You will have also noticed that their droppings are deep purple. Deeply purple coloured.
Right.
So you see a couple of them as night starts to fall and they get out of their burrows.
So this infection, or whatever it is, can clearly affect... oh dear. Oh, I had a crash.
That makes sense. Just reconnect when you can.
Yeah. Can clearly... No, it was just fantasy grounds. Can clearly affect conscious creatures.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and send it to pick up some of the droppings and just kind of like sift through them a little bit as I investigate from a distance. My hands very far kept away.
An ethereal hand appears and drifts over and softly picks up some feces and rubs it together and investigates it closely with you nearby. Roll investigation.
Yep. As soon as I find the button.
Also gross. So what are you trying to detect about this this pile of
if there's
refuse?
anything unusual besides the purple color.
Are you going to smell it?
Nope.
Yeah, do it.
Are you going to taste it?
Bernora, could you come here for a second?
you turn to see him running up the hill. No!
Smell anything?
No! Not touching that poop with your spooky hand! That's bad! You are a bad man! And he keeps running away.
Alright, I just wanted to know if you wanted to go first. Red. Alright, no one seems interested, so I click my fingers and the hand shakes itself free as it vanishes.
Yep. Moments later, Bone Nora runs up to Miguel and goes, "Your brother's weird."
Yes. Yes, he is.
Alright, so you're gonna leave the foxes alone? You don't think they're consequential, or are you gonna...
One, but I haven't built this character around creature handling.
So you guys camp for the night?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Same watches, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But is there a tree nearby?
Yeah, there'd be a tree. It might not be on the highest part of the land, but there's definitely a tree nearby.
And when Bernora's asleep, I just hang his backpack on the tree to try and keep him dry.
Could you roll a stealth check to see if you could get him and the backpack into a tree without him noticing? Well, I think it still rolls against passive perception.
Do you really have passive perception when you're asleep?
Yeah. You try sneaking up on someone while they're asleep, and they'll most likely wake up.
I'm very good at waking up from years of camp.
Someone walks into your room,
yeah.
someone wakes up. Passive perception's still a thing when you're asleep.
That's true.
But yeah, he's in a tree. He wakes. He wakes after 3 hours of hanging in the tree. And he goes, oh. And he snuggles back in. So whoever's on watch for the first watch sees him go,
Me.
Oh. And he goes back in. So that's
I really want this to somehow end up in the hands of Jim Henson Muppets, just so I can see like Muppet Nora like in a movie.
What you guys end up doing today is you set off towards the mountain range. You get close enough that you can distinguish some of these lower areas of the mountain, and this mountain goes up a long way, like unnatural kind of heights. So we're not talking a normal kind of mountain range that you would see in in real life. You're thinking very, very big mountain range, way bigger than could physically happen in the real world, or would physically happen in the real world.
Have we started to see any signs of mining paths or gear or treks?
In fact, you have up ahead. you can see what seems to be, in one of these crests that comes out of the mountain, an opening which looks like it could have been at one time a mine opening, but if it is, it's not been used in a very long time.
Mm.
So you can head up there, or you can try and climb the side of this now mountain. So it's now very steep.
Bernora, what does your gut say about that mine shaft up ahead?
It's hold.
But you've lived in holes before, right?
Yes.
What kind of inhabitants do you think would call that place home?
Not me. I don't live in a hole. I have a nice house, a nice clean window, cleanly, very clean. You did pay. I was very pleased. Very happy man.
Alright, let's head and investigate.
Maybe snakes!
Yes, there might be snakes. Right. Let's go investigate this haunted mine shaft.
Watch out for snake.
Sure.
Alright. So you guys walk all the way up to where you can see the entrance, and when you get there, the sun is shining brightly at your back, and inside the cave you see nothing. It is dark and deep and narrow. Red, you can tell that this passage has been flooded several times. Bonora goes, probably snakes.
I'd make a snake check.
There are no snakes.
Okay, good.
But that does not mean that there are no snakes around. Just no snakes where you can see.
I pull out my light crossbow and use its light source to illuminate the cave.
You pull out what, sorry?
My light crossbow.
It is ineffective.
I literally have a torch and tinderbox, so I light that.
Oh, okay, I think you're right.
Yep. You draw out your tinderbox and you grab your torch and you spend a good minute getting that thing going. Yep. Your torch is lit. It will not stay lit forever.
Yes.
I've got 10 more torches, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how we go.
Nora, do you have any torches or lanterns on your person? Tinderbox?
I don't know what you say, but put that thing down. That's too bright.
Cribbled eyes.
He starts walking into the cave. Snake! Are you there? We're going in, right? He says as he goes deeper.
I want to reach into my disguise kit and pull out like a little pair of sunglasses.
Yeah.
And put them.
You do what with them, sorry?
I'll put the sunglasses on Bernora's snout to help him not be so blinded by the light source.
He accepts it, like cringing the whole time as you put it on his head. He goes, "What are you doing?"
You look very good, Bernora.
He stares through them and goes, "This makes everything harder." And he takes them off and goes, "You keep your weird thing."
You just look so good in accessories.
Oh, and the mustache. I forgot about the mustache.
I just think you would benefit from accessorizing more.
Alright. So, you guys are entering this cave, I presume, yeah?
Yes.
You bet your bottom dollar.
You've got a lit torch, and that torch will last for 1 hour.
Ben, do you have chalk or something? Okay, if we don't have anything to leave markings, I'm going to push my torch close up to the wall to leave a little burn mark.
Yep, that'll work.
Preferably where it's drier. On the
Actually,
wall.
I'll also assist with that by I've got a few candles, and I'll use the end of one of the candles to smear some wax on the wall.
You guys push forward, and after an hour, the torch sputters and goes out. It's now dark.
Oh, wait, hang on. Did it sputter out abruptly?
No, just slowly sputtered out.
Oh, no, towards as it starts to sputter out, I use one of my torches and I light it.
Yep. So you guys gather reaching over each other. And you're like, quick,
Yeah.
come on, take this one.
Yeah.
And it ignites, and you've got another source of light up near the front.
I give it back to Red to keep holding because she's doing such a bang up job.
It doesn't do a great job of illuminating in front of you, but it does a great job of illuminating behind you.
Yeah, well, I'm scared of the dark, so let's not.
I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's in the dark that I cannot see because it's so dang dark, so dang dark. Anyway, all right.
It's very true.
Man, I got that song
I'm
stuck in my head now.
I'm afraid of the fact that I cannot see.
Yep.
We push forwards.
Alright, so you push forward again, and after the second hour,
Whoa.
the torch is going out.
I light
The air
another
quality is a little bit worse in here now.
one. Yeah.
Just a little. Not too bad.
Yeah, unless
How
we.
many torches do we have?
It's a good question.
I've got another 9.
That's a lot of torchies. Alright, so you're lighting another?
Yep, another.
Yep, you light it and you keep pressing on forward. After a small amount of walking, all of a sudden, you hear a shuffling to your sides.
To your sides.
Oh.
As you get up to about here. And hopefully the music bot starts to play something else.
Thank you, dude.
Oh, it's cute.
Not yet.
First time with the music bot, everybody.
Yep.
Oh.
A
Hey, what's
squeal and a squeak in the walls.
In the walls.
As a...
You guys hear the...
What the heck is that?
out of the walls, through the cracks, comes a swarm of bats.
Oh. Ah, that's out of the wall. Out of the walls, as in like they're ripping the walls apart.
So you see up ahead, see these little nooks in the walls?
Oh yeah.
They came out of these tiny crevices, just squeezing out and then squealing and screeching at you.
What did I get? I got a sling, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So I will sling some bats.
Very difficult shot. Let's see if you can make it. You have 3 allies in your way and you're shooting over their heads.
Can I shout duck to everybody?
Everyone roll a reflex save.
Oh no.
Alright, and now take a shot.
Bien's gonna take a shot in the head.
Very good.
You miss Bien. The back of your head.
I just want to remind you, I only have 8 hit points. The game needs to be calibrated slightly to that, but continue.
Yep. The back of your head takes a slug. Dunk.
Oh! Ah!
And
Red.
red roll damage.
Uh-oh. I have a potential with this to
Mm-hmm.
put him down because
Mhm.
it's a 1d4 plus 4.
Whoa.
Oh
6 damage to the back of his head. Dunk.
Ow.
Yeah, and I want to remind you, I have 8 hit points, and I died last go.
Alright.
I told you to duck!
You didn't wait. Hold your action.
Alright, so.
You
Moving
said
on.
duck and threw it.
Duck!
Not a duck, it's bats. Ah!
Yeah, exactly.
Deserved it!
Yeah, she's not upset.
Bone Nora's turn. And he does strike at the bats. In fact, he hits a bat. One in the giant swarm, he hits one of these bats and deals a grand total of 4 damage as one of the bats in the swarms gets skewered and starts flapping madly on the end of the spear before sliding off and dying on the ground.
We must beat them back somehow. I don't know, and I try and man, the torch is being held up.
Oh, also, Bone Nora then sprints to the back of the pack.
Thanks for that.
And Phelan runs my legs.
He goes, Alright, I got one! And he runs back. Miguel.
Alright, Okay. Alright, so
Also, he
kinda,
ran between your legs. Just
Yeah, that's fine. I let him go.
It's a little bit uncomfortable, but
Yeah. I'm gonna rush at them.
Mhm.
I don't know how stupid that is, but I'm gonna rush at them. I'm gonna yell, somebody, see if they're afraid of fire or something like that. See if they're afraid of fire. So I'm gonna strike them with my quarterstaff. No, with my spear, and and then I'm gonna try and grab one out of the air and snap its neck as well.
Right on. Alright, you swing with your spear, and it parts the swarm as they dash around it in a spiraling and mesmerizing pattern. Their red, beady eyes stare into yours.
I'm gonna do an unarmed strike as well.
Yep.
Monk boy.
Watching their circular pattern, you know just where to strike. As you swing, let's see
Hi.
what happens. And you snatch a little bat out of the sky.
find its head up of the other book's
Now, is this a grab or is this a punch? Are you grabbing and snapping its neck, or
No.
grinding
just
it on
like
the wall?
smashing it with my fist into the wall.
Thump, bang, and it hits the ground. You deal 1 damage, and the bat dies.
Thank
Not
goodness.
the swarm, just a singular bat. These bats are still swarming around angrily.
No, I'm
you
gonna be like,
gonna
I'm
do
like
anything else?
defending, like, you know. No. I'm just yelling at. See if we can thrust some fire into them, and I'm like, kind of just batting them back and trying to block them and things like that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Don't I yell at. Don't use any more slingshots.
I'm useless then.
I'm gonna try and batter my way through to as like maybe my strikes will happen. I didn't know I could do that mechanically.
That's okay.
So maybe my strikes will happen as I move through the swarm to the other side.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you fight your way through the swarm to the other side, missing with your spear and punching one, thunk, into another one, thunk, into the wall, and they both drop and die.
Yeah.
But that only makes them angrier.
Right.
And now they swarm with a new vigor! Bien! Your head's very, very sore, and there's a ringing in your ears.
Yes. Well, I need to put a silence for that ringing, so I whip out my accordion and put it into my 2 hands, and I start playing a tune, and as I play, kind of sinister light comes from the accordion and from my eyes, and I start singing this mocking ballad. This song just ridicules bats and how they are being blind and having to drink blood and all these harmful, bad reputation facts about bats. But the more I play, kind of the song starts to sound more sinister until the notes start sounding like shrieking, kind of like echolocation noises, nearly bat-like themselves. And I use vicious mockery.
Alright, so they saved against it. They're spiraling around, ignoring your nasty words.
Dang it.
Bone Nora from behind you goes, "Oh, that was a good one!"
I'm going to slip past Red. Go behind Bone Nora.
Yep.
There. And as I go past Red, I'm just gonna bump her a little bit harder than I maybe previously would have.
Yep.
Accidentally, of course.
She bounces off the wall a little bit, just
Sorry,
to
Red.
ruffle through.
I couldn't see what I was doing.
So you've got the torch. That's good to know.
Yeah, and apparently I'm not allowed to do any slingshots now.
Well,
But I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm sure you will. But
I don't have any other weapons.
now it is the time of bats. And they shall target whoever they please.
I didn't
For they are bats!
It's
Oh, you
Batten.
shut up. That's right.
I was first.
Ratatouille.
And they shall target Miguel, because they don't like him very much.
That seems fair.
As they swarm onto your square all around you. The beating of wings fills your ears, and it pushes against your eardrums, disorienting you.
Oh, I do not like it.
It makes you upset.
I am upset.
I do not like it.
And then, on top of that, they are also biting you.
Ow, I really don't like it.
Real hard. You take 5 points of damage as the bats
Holy.
eat into your ears and head and legs and arms. Munch, munch, bite, bite. Flap, flap. Ow, ow. These nasty bats. One of them bites your nose and stares into your eyes just for a moment with these red, devilish eyes. These are not your ordinary bat.
I stare back at it balefully.
I'm going to do a short attack. A short sword attack.
You are attacking into a square with an ally and an enemy. If you miss just by a little bit, there's a chance that you will hit him, but it's only a very small chance.
Sorry, what was that?
So if you miss by a 2 or smaller, then you'll hit your ally. If you hit, then you hit, and if you miss by more than 2, then you won't hit him. Roll away.
Dang it.
Alright. You miss and you do not come into contact with your ally as the short sword swings up past his face near a bat. Next up is Bone Nora. Seeing the commotion up ahead, he looks back at Bien with a questioning look. How do you look at him?
I do like
How do you respond?
I gesture him forwards. Like I,
Bleeding from the back of your head, you go, Alright. I'm gonna check what he's feeling. Alright. He looks at you, and he looks forward, he looks back, and he goes, ah! And then he runs all the way down past you guys to the other side. Through and under your legs, past a bat. And while he runs through, he is gonna take another swing at these bats and see what he can do.
whatever we kill, you can cook into a bat stew.
He takes a swing with his spear, which goes straight in between your legs and up in between your arms, and he slides through underneath and says, "Oh, there's so many!" So he's now on the other side.
Great. Great. Thanks, everybody. You're just all a bunch of champions.
Miguel!
Yeah. I flip and hit all the bats because apparently nobody else can.
Alright, so you're gonna take a swing at the bats?
Yes. Yes, I flipping them.
You definitely hit those bats. Roll damage.
Nice.
7 damage!
That's better.
That is a significant amount more than the damage earlier. As you stab, pierce through a couple of bats.
And then I'm gonna try and smack a few down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, do I hit?
You do hit.
Marvelous.
Roll damage. You punch with a mighty force. Thump, thump, thump.
Yeah. I finish off with like a sweep kick that just kind of collects a few of them.
Nice. The swarm of bats is significantly lower in bats. The volume of
That's
bats.
my brother.
The volume of bats in that particular area has decreased greatly. As you swing, stab, punch, and kick through them.
As I'm fighting, I'm gonna kind of like duck around Red and come to here behind her.
Mm-hmm.
In kind of a tactical. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna suffer an attack of opportunity. Right? Do swarms give attacks of take attacks of opportunity?
You presume so.
Okay.
The
so
only
no.
difference is they can occupy your square.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright,
no,
so
no,
you're
no.
sitting-
So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to move to the side.
Yeah.
There's a square here.
Yep.
I'm going to try to batter my way out of the swarm.
Yep, you swiftly push out of the swarm, and you've got
Yeah.
it surrounded as it moves on
Yeah.
to Bien.
Right, yes. I'm gonna do Vicious Mockery again, playing that accordion, unleashing bat insults.
Cool.
They feel very bad about them. their bat
And
selves.
they have to resist a save which they fail.
Yeah, so
Yes.
they now have advantage on the next attack roll,
Mm-hmm.
and do some damage. 2 psychic damage to the bat.
One of the bats flies around, spins, and then plummets and face plants into the ground as its head crack splits open.
Told you, sucked at flying.
Next up, the bats. Angered and crazed, they don't really know what to do, but they are going to continue trying to survive. And that means attacking someone nearby. So they are going to roll to see who they're going to attack.
Disadvantage.
They are going to have disadvantage, yes. So they will continue to attack the man who keeps bludgeoning them to death so rudely.
Gosh dang it.
And they are going to try and bite you some more. Rolling with disadvantage. Miss!
Phew.
Yep, there you go.
No, I couldn't have taken another round of bat damage.
Yeah, I know. Which is why I double checked that the disadvantage was actually on there. Alright, so
you.
the bats bite at you and swing at you with their little claws, trying to get a hold of you.
I'm like blocking them off with the stick and.
But you block, push, and one of them bites you on the armor but doesn't get through.
Nice.
Nice.
They are going to try and move further away from the person who's been killing them. So they will move. I don't know what their move speed is. There it is. Good. Alright, so they go 5. Oops, I grabbed Bonor. 10, and that's 2 attacks of opportunity from Miguel and Red.
Oh, nice. Get back here, you
Nice.
little mongrels.
That's a hit from Red,
Oh, no.
and that's a miss from Miguel. Red swings at the bats with a short sword, yeah? Slash, slash, slash. 6 bats hit the ground, and the swarm is no more.
Play
Thank
that
goodness.
victory theme.
Nice one, Red.
An attack that did something.
I don't think I have a victory theme yet.
Roll the Final Fantasy VII one. Yeah. Woo!
The bats hit the ground, and amongst their corpse, you find a few strange items that they were collecting in their little cavernous walls.
Oh.
Whoa, really?
Yes, really. Amongst
Sweet
them
mate.
is a small ornate dagger, a human skull,
Oh.
which I don't know if you're going to want to keep. There's also 5 electrum pieces and 13 copper.
Alright.
Can you add all this to the party?
Gingy, you
Yeah,
can
you
have
put it on the party.
Well, actually, I'm
I
still with
swiped
that
it. I already
bladed
said
weapon.
swipe, and then I swiped actions with both my hands.
Can I just got
Coins
this?
and the dagger.
I just
Both
got this
mine.
stick of the
Swipe.
spear.
I've swiped.
Alright, if you want to fight, if you want to fight about it, roll initiative. Let's see which one of you goes first. Alright, so you grab the ornate dagger, and in your hand, Bien, is a skull. Oh, that's not what you wanted. So you have a human skull.
Poor Bien.
What else was it?
There's some coins in the party sheet now. I just chucked them up for you.
Can I also pick up 3 of the bats' corpses.
3 of the bats'
Yeah.
corpses you can definitely have.
Ornate dagger.
However, they were not very natural creatures. Bear that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to investigate these bats.
Miguel tells of their devilish glowing red eyes and
Okay.
stuff like that.
I'd like to do a nature check on these bats.
Is the ornate dagger just a normal dagger, just fancy?
It is a fancy normal dagger. It is,
Yeah.
as far as you know, it is not magic and or cursed. As far as you know.
As far as I know. We'll
As
find
far
out.
as you know.
Can't grab my friends.
Alright, so you're doing a skill check
so good
nature
to
on
have
the
a sharp
bats.
weapon again.
The bats seem to be somewhat fouled and unnatural in ways. They, you don't know what it is about them, but the way that their fur looks and the way that their teeth have grown, it's not normal bat kind of growth. Especially their eyes look, they still glow while they're dead, which is quite unnerving. You guys collect your goodies and you head further down into this mine track. Before long, and I presume you're all going in the same way that you were before.
Yeah, I try and bandage up some of my cuts and scrapes. I try, actually, no, before we go, I get one of the bats, and I see if it lights on fire.
Jeepers creepers.
I watch Miguel with amusement.
He burns
It's
a bat,
dead.
the air quality lowers.
Okay. Does it like snap?
It smells
like
putrid as it burns.
Oh, Miguel!
I just wanted to see.
But Nora goes over to Red and goes, "But those brothers are weird."
Well, who knows? Maybe they were combustible. Maybe my fire idea would have worked. I was trying to work it out.
So you push on further until up ahead you can see some light being reflected off your torch as it's burning out currently. You've got maybe 5 minutes left in this current torch.
Okay, I light a new one.
Well, wait,
So you've
Oh, well, I torch.
you've come up to here where you can see up ahead some reflection coming off the ground.
Oh. Perhaps it is.
When you strain your eyes through the dark, you can see what seems to be water. However,
the color.
Oh
Can you
man,
see the what?
beware of.
the color, it
Yeah, can
does
you see the
seem
colour?
purple.
Beware of cave water.
Bone Nora says, oh, big wet.
Oh, no, why
And
didn't you go
he-
think you can catch some squids?
He walks up closer to the edge and he kicks it a little and he goes, this is big wet. And he points to where, he points into the darkness, you can barely see him, so you guys come a bit closer, and you can see just up ahead, the roof of the cave dips down and into the water.
Ah, no.
Someone is swimming.
Right.
Oh, Nora.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. I've a bag full of good things,
Yeah,
not get
I
wet.
really wanna
All these
see
things.
how
This,
you find
I've
these
got a whole
squids.
patch of salt is get drenched and destroy.
You've got her backpack, it'll be fine.
The backpack is
That's
not in
all.
keeping it
Oh,
dry
back-
underwater. So, it looks like if you're going forward, it's going to be swimming. So someone's going to have to swim. Bone Nora's
Oh,
not keen.
boy.
Alright. Well, someone's got to do it.
Alright, so Miguel's going first. Do you put your gear down, or do you take it with you?
I put my. Oh, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well-
There's
steal
a
all
leather
his
backpack,
stuff.
basically.
There's not much stuff to steal.
No, you have cloth backpacks,
Yeah.
and they are not waterproof. They are water resistant in the rain, but the rain is not submerged
I'm just
water.
not sure what your end game goal here is.
Well, no, I don't think it's. I don't know if it's worth going for. I don't know if it's worth going
Yeah, to
forwards.
be honest.
All right, I ask Bone Nora.
Mhm.
which I now realise is 2 words.
Yes. As he said in the first encounter, his family name.
I ask old Bony Boy. Alright, Bony Boy. Here, look. There is a gold piece in you, and in it for you, and I flash the gold piece.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find us a way forward.
Okay. He drops his pack and he jumps into the water. Forward he goes as he bobs under the water just at the end, going, breathing in sharply, and then he is out of sight.
He'll be back.
This is where he dies.
We never hear or.
While he's underwater, can I hold one end of my 50 feet of rope and give the other end to a mage hand and send that underwater as far as it could go? Trying to find the other side.
Bone Nora goes under, and he has been gone for a full minute at this time.
Oh.
Do we know anything? I assume he's fine.
I'm gonna tell the mage hand to give this rope to Bone Nora if it can.
Not how mage
send it 35.
So it goes tight as the mage hand pulls it down to the length that you're expecting, and it starts to wait there. Moments later, you feel a tug on the rope.
Okay, I'm gonna pull the rope back.
Yep. You pull the rope back, and then Bone Nora appears on the end of the rope, coming out of the water.
It's alright, Bone Nora, gotcha!
Is big wet.
Interesting.
Fan other side, water's rising.
What is rising?
Yes, and he points to at your feet as you see water trickling down past you.
How far was the other end, Bone Nora?
He swims up further and he says, 5 to 10 longness, big long. If it was his house, one house is on this big and stilts, and all the sand is round, no squids. And when you go through the house 2 times and then a third, then up in breathing.
What?
He takes his pack and he closes over the top and he says, "Well, I'm going again. We must get out and a long way back. No way. Not no. I'm go. You come."
All right. Yeah, we're coming.
Is he dyed purple? Are we gonna be? Is all our stuff gonna turn purple going?
He's got a purple hue to him, yeah.
Oh no!
He grabs his pack and he goes, "Well, my things were nice." And he jumps in the water and he starts swimming. Are you guys going with him?
He's going further in, but the water is rising.
I come in with him.
And he's saying that there's a space to breathe. Not that far.
Yeah, he says that there is breathable air further, or at least that's what you gather. And it was, correct me if I'm wrong, one house on big stilts with sand all around, no squids, go through twice, then third time breathing air.
Yeah, I got it. Nailed it.
This is the first time I've ever regretted not taking prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Whatever it's called, because that can change the color of things.
You'd have to take everything individually and do it with prestidigitation. But Bone Nora's jumped in and he's paddling quite ferociously at the end with his backpack weighing him down. He goes, if need, drop backpack, big wet. Paddle.
I'm going to, where possible, remove all my clothes down to my skinnies.
Yep.
I wink at Red. And
are you wearing armor?
No.
What kind of armor do you wear usually? None?
None. I don't think I have any.
Alright.
Yeah, me neither.
Didn't get an option to start with it. Haven't been rich enough to afford it.
Certain classes start with different things as well. So
Yeah. I'm going to fold it
Mm-hmm.
carefully, try and put things in between my bedroll, try and put things as much as it can fit into my disguise kit, try and keep my clothes, especially my hat, from getting as little dyed as possible. And if possible, I want to use my inspiration point on that. And I'm going to fold everything into my backpack very tightly. I'm going to kiss the part of my backpack where my accordion is.
Alright, so what are you trying to keep most dry?
My clothes and my accordion.
Okay.
I want them to be as dyed as least as possible.
Alright. Prioritizing accordion or clothes?
Clothes.
Prioritizing clothes. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, so you're all jumping in?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm coming in.
You all push up and go under the water into a very longer than what it looks like, submerged section of the cave here. I want everyone to roll an athletics check. You start swimming through. Red overtakes the two boys, but not the kobold. It is very dark. You have no light. All you can feel is the cave walls on your side and the water pushing from other people in front of you. It is terrifying.
It is.
Should have tied that rope to each other.
You have been under for 6 seconds. It is time to roll another athletics check. You guys all swim on further, and the cave walls narrow as you squeeze through a small gap, and your backpacks only just make it through. And you get marginally closer to not drowning. Or at least you hope, based on Bone Nora's his report. Which you're all trusting.
Oh no.
And
And if anyone knows the mechanics for breath holding, you have a limited time under here, and it's based on your constitution. And I will tell you when you start suffocating to death. Red and Bone Nora get ahead, and you feel less of their flow of water going over you guys as you're falling behind. And that's where we're leaving it.
oh,
Under the water, in a cave where you can't see, holding your breath
Oh no.
until the next time.
terrifying.
So thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. We do play this weekly. We try to do it on an Australian Friday or Saturday evening, but time is subject to variance. And make sure you check out Super Nintendo 64 on DLive, because he's a chap up there. There, I'm pointing the right way.
Trying to get to 200 so I can
Yeah,
stream the
please, genuinely, I beg of you, from the bottom of my heart, give him a follow. He's a great guy, and he needs to get to that 200 to get the affiliation on DLive, which would be cool. Do you guys have anything to say before we sign off?
I don't like the dark.
I never was one for drinking and dance, but I lived by the dice and the cards in my hands. But the goddess of fortune seemed loath of the sea. There were none of the crew who was poorer than me. I was walking the deck on a cold, starry night when the shape of a spectre appeared in my sight. He said, I am Jones and I've seen your demise. I've been moved by your suffering, I will help you rise. I was sea and it's waiting for me down below in the bottom of the chasm. said I'll make you richest of all of your crew. In return I require a promise from you. When your sand has run out, when your time here is through, you'll sign up for me without further ado. I complied and I signed with my blood on the line, with no thought of my life, only gold on my mind. But I was deceived, I wish I had known that I would be richest, but also alone. I'm his fool, you see, and is waiting for me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to me, and is waiting for me down below, down below, down below. A scream from the hold, where the first mate was found lying bleeding and cold, and a sailor came running with a nail in his eye. So we all ran to help him, but I knew he would die. Soon enough we were caught in a fight for our lives, in a torrent of hail from a blue cloudless sky. When the freak wave swept half of the crew overboard, the captain went mad and he fell on his sword. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. Now I'm drifting alone on an ocean so vast. The ship's wealthiest sailor, but also the last. There's a wind out of nowhere that's filling my sails. There's a sprinkling of frost building up on the rails. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. I'm his fool, you see, and he's laughing at me down below in the bottomless chasm. I'm his sailor to be, and he's waiting for me down below, down below, down below. Down below, down below. Down below, down below, down below.